During last night's game between the Montreal Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning, you might have noticed there was a guy that was stapled to the Habs bench who was watching the game just like the rest of us. The only difference being, he was wearing hockey equipment. I'm talking, of course, about Mr. Jonathan Drouin. Yes, we got another chapter to add to the book. And how do I even begin to explain the relationship right now between Drouin and the Habs? It's kind of weird, ain't it? He's like a divorced husband living in his ex-wife's basement. So for those of you that are new to this story and you're sitting there kind of wondering how Drouin ended up with just as much ice time as your cat last night, first, we gotta backtrack a bit. Because this would all start a couple of mornings ago when Drouin showed up late for a team meeting. Okay, now Drouin himself would claim that he didn't hear his alarm clock go off and he was only late by a couple of minutes. Like 2 minutes plus 40 divided by 2 again, tops. But for breaking this team code, unfortunately for him, he would suffer some consequences. He wasn't allowed to participate at practice that day. Marty St Louis seemed visibly upset, or at least disappointed, when he was asked about it in front of the media. And then, on game day, which would have been yesterday, Drouin would join his teammates at practice, but there was still a big question mark on whether or not he would dress and play against the Tampa Bay Lightning, which, you know, was probably a game that he had circled on his calendar for a while now, going head-to-head against Mikhail Sergachev. Oh, you like getting kicked there? But behind the scenes, Marty St Louis had another bit of a pickle going on, okay? He needed skaters, he needed names. Caden Gooley was out with another injury, and this is probably what forced Marty's hand in placing Drouin into the lineup. He was in, okay? He made it that far. But during the game last night, man, a clear message was sent, huh? Was it ever? Drouin would finish last night's game without playing a single shift. It was as noticeable as a stupid looking mustache. It had to be embarrassing, and I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. Did Marty go too far? Because it seems like Habs fans are pretty divided right now when it comes to the way Marty handled this situation. In one corner, we got a group that thinks Marty made the right choice. This guy essentially showed up late for work, he's making millions, and he kinda had it coming. And then there's another group that just genuinely feels bad for Drouin a person, okay? And for me, I trust Marty's decision, and I'm kinda on the outside looking in here anyway. We only know the few details that we were given about this. And there's gotta be more to this story than meets the eye. I mean, Marty seems like he's a coach that represents the players well, okay? He's a former player himself. He's been around the game his whole life. So for Marty St Louis to be this choked and want to send this kind of a message to Drouin just kind of makes me feel like there's more to this story than we're ever gonna know. But anyway, Drouin would not play a single shift during last night's game. The Canadiens would lose this one by a score of 5-3, and next in line is the Tampa Bay Lightning once again, on Tuesday night this time, so maybe Drouin gets back on the ice next game. My guess is he does. But when it comes to Drouin and his expiring contract, I honestly don't think he's going to be a Montreal Canadian next season. They are going to chop up the dirty old umbilical cord as quick as they can, okay? Or at least I think they will. But let me know what you thought about all this down in the comment section. Don't forget to body check the like button on the way out of here. And hey, I'll see you next time.